You can taste it. It tastes like home.
The Midwest Way is a docu-style visual poem created on the same day that I shot all of my restock collection that's on Storyblocks. The Midwest Way is really like showing the beautiful life that happens in the flyover states. That's what we're known as. You don't stop there, you just fly over it. The three subjects that I have, Hillary is a baker. She bakes sourdough out of her house and sells it along with teaching people how to make sourdough. Connor is a barista at a local coffee shop. We got him running and making coffee. Eric is the owner at Upshot Coffee. He also rides a motorcycle, has a Harley Davidson, and rides horses. And I saw that, reached out to him, and he was on board. My initial thought for creating something bigger than the stock collection was to cut together 3 different films about each character. It sat around for a long time and nothing was coming, and that's when I came up with the idea to do more of a visual poem, really just giving a feeling of what it's like to live here and the beauty that the flyover states have. My wife is a poet and a writer, and I enlisted her on this project, and she wrote the poem and also recorded the narration.
You can hear it. It sounds like the roar of engines, like camaraderie and long rides in the sun on a Saturday.
So the main reason I chose my subjects was because each of them had something that I thought would be visually striking, but also showcase the Midwest Way life. You know, I'm not gonna choose someone who's into surfing or snowboarding because there's not much of that happening here. Choosing a baker, a barista, and a horseback rider, motorcyclist, that's more out of the norm, but still within the Midwest, and also could create some beautiful imagery. Hillary, we went to her house early in the morning, getting the eggs in from the yard. I wanted it at sunrise. The interior of her house we lit so it felt more bright and warm, and also to get shape.
Yeah, actually move the light more your left, looking at the window, and then pan right.
I didn't want to just shoot it like a true documentary. I wanted to heighten that and make it look beautiful, but still feel real, still feel like, oh, it's sun coming in and wrapping around, to really showcase the bread and the steam coming off of it. With Eric, we were more subject to the natural light, and we ended up getting a beautiful day, but we brought out a bounce and bounced the sun to create a heightened look for when he's getting on the motorcycle.
We need that bounce though. Where are the bounce boys? To bounce boys.
I'd have to say my favorite scene is with Eric on the bike. I just love the movement that we got there, and being able to work with a motorcycle was something I hadn't done before as a director or cinematographer. And so to be able to frame those up and communicating with the focus puller and the camera operator while we're moving in the truck. With Connor, we lit the coffee shop, really backlighting. I love the flares that we got. I love the steam coming off of the espresso machine. And we wouldn't have seen that really without augmenting the lighting. So good. Choosing to have a gimbal on this project was a necessary for smooth running shots. Connor also loves rock climbing, and we had plans to do the rock climbing but didn't have the time. Working with these subjects was special. Everyone was on board. Each person gave me about 4 hours of their day to do this, and they were on board for whatever I was saying, and each one was comfortable on the camera. That was huge, because these aren't trained actors, so they're just regular people doing the stuff that they do. So there was a lot of direction needed, but each one took my direction really well, and that's why I'm saying it's not really a documentary, but it's docu-style, because they were doing the things that I had shot listed. So getting into the more technical side, this film came about from working on the Storyblocks restock collection. And with that, I had to create a couple treatments ahead of time. The treatment that got me the job, then there was like the pre-production treatment that had all the details in it. And with that one, I shot listed everything and had a plan for every single shot that we had. So it definitely was a scripted format, but with real people doing the things that they do. I also, within that treatment, had a mood board and the locations and the time that it would take to drive to each, and my crew, all of those things, so that Storyblocks could see all that ahead of time. But also, I did the same thing that I would normally do when I'm gonna make a film. I usually put together a production document that everyone can get on the same page for the look. I'm just super grateful to the crew that came out that day. They worked really hard. My camera operator, Alex Lorum, is a fantastic DP in his own right. Everything about that day was fantastic. It was a lot to pull off within 12 hours. There was 5 locations, 3 different subjects, a lot of driving around, not much time with each subject, but I think what we got was great. I chose the red V-Raptor and GL Optics Contact Zeiss rehoused vintage lenses. Not only did I want the future proof of the 8K resolution for the stock footage, but I also wanted a timeless and vintage look to the footage, so that's where the lenses came in. We also shot with the Blackmagic Pixis 6K on a gimbal for all of the motorcycle and horse stuff, the running stuff. Anytime we needed a smooth moving camera, that's the camera we shot on. But majority of it was shot handheld to make it feel more organic and natural, something that stock footage usually doesn't do, and this is why the film turned out the way it did. And my editor, he came in clutch because, like I said, the film was just sitting there, and I knew I wanted to do something with it, but the footage is there. I have already planned it. I had the treatment, but once I talked to him, now it's time to connect the poem that my wife wrote as an ode to the Midwest and the flyover states with the footage that we had of these great Midwesterners doing what they love. Now that the film is all wrapped up, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for the release, and that's when I reached out to Storyblocks again this year, and they were on board with coming up with this crafting of the Midwest Way that you're watching now. And if you click the link in the description, you can go over to Current Cine's YouTube channel and watch the full film now. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Storyblocks for making all this happen.